those of you that were concerned about the kitty, she does have ringworm. So, all right. So, some of y'all are seeing the title and y'all are like, what the hell? What's going on? What is up? Fun shit, huh? Fun shit. These last few days, I have hinted about receipts being collected on particular individuals and claims and stuff. That's still being all like collated and sorted and organized by people way more competent than me. People asserting that I've said and done certain things, but have no frame of reference or evidence for it. Receipts take time. It's easy to just make up shit and to have idiots run with it. And that's sort of the fun part. Because of some of the more, some of the negative personality traits that I exude every single stream, it entices a particular type of person, and it's sort of designed to do that. Every stream has a few things. Me sort of self-aggrandizing, me denigrating people, even though I don't really specify who it is. In particular, focus on key insecurities, such as people's overall life progress and their overall intelligence. Because one of the things that a good troll actually does is they can do their research. Just sort of making comments about somebody's appearance, that's low energy kind of trolling, right? That doesn't really do much. You can lose weight, right? You can't really lose stupid. I actually explain how I go about living in people's head rent free, because there is a methodology to it. There is a reason why people who claim to hate me have a begrudging respect for me, because I'm able to identify certain things about their character. If you attack somebody's appearance, they can change that. You can't change the essence of who someone is. So if you attack that, that sticks with them. That sticks with them way longer, way harder. The issue is, how do you ascertain the essence of what a person is, especially on the internet, when people can portray themselves to be literally anything. So that in question sort of is what a good troll can latch on to. And I think that every so often when I get a few people, especially like it's always newer people who sort of latch on, hey baby, latch on to my persona, and they want to one up dragnauct and all that kind of stuff. It's exciting for me, because honestly, like y'all seen with the recent Shanny shit, it's boring. They're just sitting there watching fucking YouTube. And so in order to amuse myself, and I've learned this for a while, it's better to actually find dissidents. She's losing her mind. To find dissidents and to sort of encourage them to work together. The hard part is that a lot of them aren't really familiar with me. They want to sort of play the game, but they don't know the players. There is no real concerted effort to try and get dragnauct, however that looks. And that's actually brings me to sort of my next point. Like, what is the end goal? If it's just to make somebody cry online, or to make them heal, or to a forced retirement sort of scenario, like an I Quit match, WWE style, right? I was playing online games. One of the characters I would play was Dragnauct Lifetaker, who was an asshole. He was incredibly antagonistic. And so what I would do is I would instigate wars between different guilds for my faction. And so my efforts weren't just to amuse myself. It was to create a scenario in which my skills as because I like player versus player interaction. So I like killing other players. So if I have more players to kill, right, that feeds my end goal. And so me instigating that adds to my entertainment, right? So this dragnauct here ends up creating sort of, I guess, an online battlefield for people to sort of have a goal. They can be what I call the dragon killer, the dragon slayer. Having competent people try it is probably the most challenging part. For some of you who saw, who's the new troll? Test Tube Narcissist? Yeah. So they did not do their research at all. Some of you who actually witnessed that exchange probably found it to be probably pretty funny, but a few people are probably wondering why it went south very quickly. This is not my first rodeo at all whatsoever. I have encountered people like that, upstarts who I guess are trying to get at me or something. I'm not really sure, the end goal, but the motivation is to try and have some sort of effect. But they don't do the research at all. My speciality is talking to people and one-on-one and breaking down arguments. And so you essentially step into my playing field. Like this is home base. So if you're not adept at that, then you're at a loss. Very few people are actually good at it. It's hard to explain having actual skill and talent to people online who don't really possess that. And this is where I'm like unintentionally like insulting people. It is actually a skill that you have to hone, because me and G-Man and others involved ourselves for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I mean, for days and weeks and months and years. We've done that. We've gotten really good at it, to the point that I can hear the anxiety in people's voices, and I know how to exacerbate it very quickly. Me and Sokka Count actually have a, for those of you who've been watching for a while, you've seen me and Sokka in a panel discussion play off one another, because he has something called like the Sokka ambush. Okay, I call it the Sokka ambush, where he sits and wait, and I'll engage, and he'll sort of size up the person and get the gist of the argument, and then start to form his retort, and then he'll cut in, and then I'll stop. And so, how do you combat somebody like that? Research, actually taking time and watching discussions. If you are trying to beat the dragnauct, then the best way is to beat him at his own game. Practice. You know, there people have Discord. People, you have access to plenty of model discussions and stuff like that. And so, you know, a person, a troll, and their cronies or whoever can actually practice and actually gain a pretty good life skill. That is that's sort of one of the things that I sort of hope for, is like somebody to actually, you know, give me a run for my money. One of the things I've noticed about quite a few people is that when they invest their all their time and effort into being like an online fucking entity, is that they're socially inept. They don't actually understand social cues. Overcoming that can be a challenge. Absolutely. Here's the funny thing. Sam has talked shit to my wife and flirted with her too. Like it's funny, but still, if people are socially inept, there's different tiers of trolling, right? If you don't do research, you have to then sort of do what I call scattershot. And with a scattershot, you're just sort of throwing out claims and seeing what sticks, right? That's low tier trolling, because what you're looking for is a response. You're looking for physical and verbal cues that, you know what, one of those, right, one of those pieces of shrapnel or whatever has landed because of the response that I get. I got a visceral reaction from that. The problem is that you can feign a reaction. I get trolled. There are people sending me naked pictures. That's the best way of trolling. I have to put down my phone. But yeah, like it's a dance. Actually, my motivation for sort of making this is to sort of give encouragement to people who are trying to troll. Do better. I mean, like that's sort of the TLDR.